Hi guys, today we are doing something special. And what are we doing, Rachel?
We are watching YouTube. Now, I'm a corporate lawyer. I'm Rachel from Founders Dot.
And I'm a disputes lawyer. I'm Suang Wijaya from Eugene Tourism.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay.
순양 진화영 대표 거래내역 계좌 추적에서 찾아낸 자금 흐름 분석표입니다.
공급행령 정화 찾으셨어요?
아니요, 없어요.
So, in this video, the prosecutor claims to have tracked through someone's activity to figure out whether there's embezzlement. In this instance, Suang, what kind of data can prosecutors actually access legally and what is not legal?
The starting point in this area would be, for example, when it comes to your banking transactions and your banking information. In Singapore, there is a default rule of banking secrecy under Section 47 of the Banking Act. And that is a very robust rule that essentially says the bank has a very onerous requirement to protect the secrecy of customer information.
Are there any instances where I can say I don't want to give you the client's bank statement? Or can I, as a client, tell the bank you're not allowed to do that?
The client doesn't need to even tell the bank not to do that. As I mentioned, it's a default rule of banking secrecy. However, if this bank is subject to Singapore's jurisdiction and this bank receives a valid request by the law enforcement authorities pursuant to the Criminal Procedure Code, the bank would have no choice but to comply with the request.
Let's continue watching.
없어요. 이 방면으로는 그 역사와 전통을 자랑하는 순양인데. 대신 제가 아주 재밌는 계좌 하나를 발견했죠. 자, 여기 한번 보시죠. 이 작년 10월부터 순양백화점 법인 계좌에서 100억 단위의 돈이 3억, 4억, 억 단위대로 잘게 쪼개져서 수십 개의 통장으로 입금이 됐습니다.
백화점 거래처들인가요?
이 통장 수십 개가 예금주 이름도 다르고 은행도 다른데 딱 한 가지 공통점이 있어요. 그게 바로 각 지점이 있는 위치. 자, 여기 보시면 회원동, 충무로, 을지로 여기가 하나같이 싹 다 그냥
명동이네. 명동 사치시장에서 세탁소를 아주 크게 차리셨네.
빙고.
그래서 세탁한 자금은 어디로 갔는데요?
네, 보시면 순양백호. 이 껍데기는 순양백화점의 거래처예요. 알맹이는 몰라요. 순양백호의 입출금 내역은 싹 다 이 세탁소를 거쳐서 나온 순양백화점의 자금들 뿐이니까.
페이퍼 컴퍼니네요.
So, Suang, what is a paper company? Is it a company made of papers? I'm just kidding.
Paper company may just be, let's say, an entity that you incorporate, but it doesn't run proper legitimate business activities, even though somebody may use corporate secretarial services to set up fictional businesses or set up fictional employees. But really, the whole point of this company is it's just to do something illicit.
자를 세워 공금 횡령을 해왔다. 송 기자님, 법원에 영장 신청해주세요. 순양백화점 압수수색하고 진화영 대표 소환 조사 요구할 겁니다.
So, Suang, they use a pretty big word over there, subpoena.
Yes.
What does that mean?
In the Singapore context, we use the word subpoena only for ordering you to attend court for testimony. First, they will invite you. So they will just say, could we request that you assist in investigations? Please come to police station on this date. Then if you refuse, sometimes they will just order you to attend. And if you don't attend, they will issue a warrant of your arrest. The most serious one is where essentially they don't even give you any advance notification or not. They simply just arrest you and interrogate you on the spot.
All right, let's continue watching the video. So I've got another question, Suang. Can law enforcement officers just come into my office and take boxes of things from my office?
Yes, one of the key rules is number one, they need to preserve the chain of custody. They have to make sure that they are put under seal and the seized items are so-called held in custody in the exact same condition as it was found. There are very strict rules around handovers. So, for example, every single item must be very, very carefully accounted for. and its movements between one law enforcement officer to another law enforcement authority must be completely documented all the way until its eventual production in court during the trial.
Can I say, no, you're not allowed to take these things, or no, you're not allowed to take certain things that I have?
One important exception that I can think of is when it comes to documents or electronic devices containing legal professional communications that is potentially covered by privilege.
Interesting. Let's continue watching.
이게 무슨 일이야? 공금 횡령 정황이 의심된다는 제보가 있었답니다, 대표님. 주인도 없는 사무실에서 이렇게 함부로도 돼? 내가 누군 줄 알고?
진아영 대표님이시죠? 서울중앙지검 금융조세조사부 송기호 수사관입니다. 여기 공금 횡령 피의자로 소환조사 출석 요구서입니다.
That's the end of the video. Wait, I got another question. What is embezzlement? Because in the video, we saw like transactions from one company to 12 other companies. But what is fundamentally wrong with that?
Embezzling, I think, is a layman word that is used for stealing somebody's money, stealing a company's funds which you have custody over. So in Singapore, the proper term for that is criminal breach of trust.
A bit closer to home, we obviously had the recent case of Ong Beng Seng and Minister Ismail Suang getting arrested. There's not a lot of information that we know, but what are your thoughts that you can share?
In Singapore, of course, we have the concept called you are presumed innocent until you are proven guilty, which is what Prime Minister Lee was talking about in Parliament when he explained why a salary had been reduced to $8,500. The other rule that we may need to be very conscious about is this rule called sub judice. We are not allowed to say something that would prejudice people's influences when it comes to existing criminal investigations or even criminal proceedings. When it comes to CPIB, it would be investigations against them for potential offences under the Prevention of Corruption Act. And the most key parts of the Prevention of Corruption Act are found in Section 6. And Section 6 are really the set of offences governing what we normally know as bribery. So boiled down to its essence, a lot of these offences really relate to perhaps I give you a kickback.
But must the kickback be like substantive, like substantial, or it can be any amount?
It can be any amount because you would recall a few years ago, there was this, I believe, lorry driver who actually got found guilty of corruption, and the kickbacks that he was receiving were about a few cents to $1 each time.
So based on your experience, would the intensity of investigations vary depending on how serious the crime is? I'm just thinking, because one of the things that I'm hearing, and this is all, not validated, is it's potentially like a small kickback. Like apparently him having some F1 perks. Would there be a difference based on the amount? Like why couldn't he have had a warning instead of like a huge investigation? Or would huge investigations mean that it was a big kickback that he received?
The best that I can say is that law enforcement authorities, they may actually start off finding some perhaps seemingly insignificant transaction, and then it might trace into something potentially a bit more serious, which may then require a more intense investigation. Another factor as to why an office might suddenly be raided without advance notice is where the law enforcement authorities might be fearful that if advance notice is given, crucial evidence may suddenly be dissipated or destroyed.
Is there anything or insight you can give me from a criminal law perspective on what else we should be looking out for, or any interesting insights?
One thing I would say is you have to be very, very cautious when you suddenly have a customer that comes to you saying, oh, I want to pay a very large amount of money for these services that you are providing. And then midway through, he says, oh, I don't need your services anymore, but not to worry, I will give you 5% for the services that you have already done halfway, and please refund 95% to another bank account. Anything that makes you feel a bit odd or makes you feel out of the ordinary, be extremely vigilant.
Like it's too good to be true.
It's too good to be true. If it raises red flags, if in doubt, you may make a suspicious transaction report.
Interesting. We hope you like this video. This is from Reborn Rich. Hopefully that will make you rich too. I'm just kidding. That's all. Until our next video, see you next time. And if there's any video you would like us to react to, let Suang know. I'm just kidding. You can let me know as well. All right, see you. Take care. And remember, the only laundry you should do is your clothing. All right, bye.